What's up, everybody? Good morning. It is nearly 10:30, so we're just starting a little early. And we are continuing with day 3 of this SAT math review, which is going super awesome. Very excited about it. We've had a lot of people jump on, a lot of people watch, and hopefully they've been learning and participating along the way. So if you're new here today, this is how it's going to go. We're going to blaze through practice test number 3 from Khan Academy. Again, somebody asked me where's the best place to get resources. I say first and foremost, you should start with Khan Academy in terms of straight practice resources. If you're looking for additional resources, I have a video course that if you click on the link below, it's actually, you're going to get a massive discount, 75% discount, which has a whole nother set of practice problems, about 700 plus. But all of those come with individual unique video explanations, which is the most valuable part of the course. So that's another resource. But start here. Start with what we're doing today. You've got a few days to prepare, and you can do a lot in these next few days, especially if there are some math concepts you need to brush up on. I'm going to be doing this test in real time, meaning under time circumstances, which is part of the fun. And hopefully you'll get to glean a lot of the methodologies and strategies that I utilize when I'm solving the test to increase both your efficiency and accuracy. So without further ado, it is time to begin. So I'm going to set up here, and we're going to start with the math no calculator section. I'm going to just wait till that clock hits 10:30. When it comes to the no calculator section, of course, we have no calculator access. And it's important that your mental math skills are strong, that you can do some basic calculations. They'll never give you anything crazy with like tons of decimals, but you're gonna be accountable in terms of your arithmetic skills. All right, let's do it. Question 1, a painter will paint n walls with the same size and shape in the building using a specific brand of paint. Okay, the painter's fee can be calculated by expression nk AH, where n is the number of walls, k is a constant with units of dollars per square foot, and a is the length of each wall, and h is the height. So if the customer asks the painter to use a more expensive brand of paint, which factors would change? Okay, this is number of walls. These are the dimensions of the walls. It has to be the k, right? K is the only thing where the different price point would affect. And it even says K is a constant with unit of dollars per square foot. That's price. Next, 3R equals 18. Well, we can quickly, so there's two ways to do this. First, we can solve for R. Let's just do that. Divide both sides by 3 and R equals 6. So this is 6 times 6, which is 36, plus 3 is 39. Okay, next. Which of the following is equal to A to the 3 over 2? Oh, all right, all they're doing here is we're converting a fractional exponent to the root and exponent. So the bottom part means we're taking a cube root, and the top part means it's a squared. So we've got a squared to the cube root power, which is down here. Okay. Next, we've got the number of states that joined the U.S. between 1776 and 1849 is twice. Okay. So this here to whatever 1849 is twice the number of states that joined between 1850 and 1900. So x equals, if this were x, it would equal twice times y, and y is the later group that joined from 1850 and 1900. If 30 states joined between this and this, which is this variable, so this is 30, then between 1850, which of the following equation is true? So it's 2 times y. Oh, but they're actually using x. So let me switch it here. Let's make it y and x. So we could write it like this, which they have here. 2x equals 30. X state, yeah. And this makes sense because x is basically half of this, right? And so it's 15, and we'd get 15 with that equation. With this one, x would be 60. This one would be negative 28. You know, none of those work. What is the value of x over 5? Okay, so check this out. Let's see if we can solve this as quickly as possible. 15 over x plus 20. Now we can always see the fastest way to do this is it's just x plus 20 over 15. No, let's cross multiply. I don't think that something's not right in the way I was trying to do it. So let's cross multiply. This is 15x equals 5x plus 100. Subtract 5x, and we get 10x equals 100. Divide by 10, x equals 10. Therefore, x over 5 is 10 over 5, which is 2. Next is system of equations. So we gotta solve the system, and then whatever my solution is, I have to subtract the y value from the x value. So let's solve here. 2x minus 3y equals negative 14. 3x minus 2y equals negative 6. So let's use combination. So I'm going to multiply this bottom one by 2, this top one by negative 3. Top one becomes negative 6x plus 9y equals 42. The bottom one becomes 6x minus 4y equals negative 12. Add them together. X's go away. This becomes 5y equals 30. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. Whoops. Y equals 6. If y equals 6, plug it back into one of the original equations. So plug it back up in here. So this is 2x minus 18 equals negative 14. Add 18. Add 18. We get 2x equals 4. X equals 2. So x equals 2. Y equals 6. We want to know is x minus y. So it's 2 minus 6, which is negative 4. Okay, next. All right, next we have 0, 2, 4, 5, 3, 1, 0, negative 2. The function f is defined by polynomials. Some values of x and f of x are shown in the table above. Which of the following must be a factor of f of x? Okay, so a factor is going to be anything where we're going to get a 0 value for f of x. Therefore, it looks like, well, we see the value at 4, so therefore x minus 4 is going to be a factor. Okay, anywhere we're getting a 0 value, that's it. Next, y equals kx plus 4 is graphed in the xy plane. If the line contains the point CD where c does not equal 0 and d does not equal 0, what is the slope of the line? Okay, so basically we need to solve for k because k is the slope, and we're saying CD is on the spectrum, is on the line. So I'm going to plug c in for x and d in for y. That's the y value. And now we got to isolate k and solve for slope. So I'm going to subtract 4. We get d minus 4 equals kc, and then divide both sides by c, and we get this. D minus 4 over c is our slope. Next, we've got kx minus 3y equals 4. 4x minus 5y equals 7. So the system of equations for what value of k is the system of equations has no solution. It's no solution, okay, when the slope is the same, but the y-intercept is different. Because this is a different constant, well, actually, hold on. Let's do it like this, okay? I'm trying to do it the fastest way possible. So I'm going to try and get these guys to equal each other, okay? So I'm going to multiply the bottom one by 3. I'll show you why I'm doing this in a second. And the top one by 5. So the bottom becomes 12x minus 15y equals 21. The top one becomes 5kx minus 15y equals 20. Okay, so now we see that these y-intercepts are different, and that's cool. And the only way that these are going to have equivalent slope, if I went to then isolate y, right, it would eventually be, the slope would be 5k over 15. In this one, we can see we'd subtract both sides by 12x, we get negative 12x, and then divide by negative 15, and we'd get 12 over 15. Negatives cancel out. So essentially what's happening is we need these two slopes to be equal. Then I'll have no solutions. So we just solve for k. Let's cross simplify. This becomes 1 and 3. This becomes 4 and 5. Okay, cross multiply 12 equals 5k. Oops, 5k. Divide by 5, divide by 5. And we get k equals 12 over 5. The parabola with the equation y equals x minus 11 squared intersects the line with equation y equals 25 at 2 points. So here would be my line y equals 25. It's a horizontal line. 2 points A and B. What is the length of AB? Okay, well, this is a parabola that goes up, and it's going to probably intersect it like this. This just gives us a frame of reference. You don't have to draw this out. But the question is, it intersects here and it intersects here. What's the length of this equation? Well, I know that y equals 25, but we don't know these x values. So we can plug in 25 and we can solve for these x values. So how do we solve? We take this, oops, oh shoot. We take the square root of both sides, and we'll get two answers. First, we get positive 5 equals x minus 1, and we get negative 5 equals x minus 1. So here, if I add 1, I get x equals 6. Here, I add 1, I get x equals negative 4. So here, it's negative 4. Here, it's 6. I'm just talking about the x value. The y value doesn't matter because it stays constant. So how far are we going from negative 4 to 6? We're going up to, let's say, zeros here. We're going up 4, then we're going up another 6, so we're going 10. So it's a length of 10. Okay, we can double check that later. Oops, just trying to line this up properly. Okay, next. In the figure to the left, lines K, L, and M intersect at a point if x plus y and u plus w equals u plus w, which of the following must be true. Okay, let's move this here. And it says right there, figure not drawn to scale. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. We don't want it because they look like they're all equal, but essentially they're telling us that they're not, right? Okay, so let's see, what do we know? X plus y, oops, x plus y equals u plus w. U plus, okay, so that means this angle is equal to this angle. From vertical angles, I also know that this angle must equal, see, this is a vertical angle with this angle. So that one's also equal. This one's a vertical angle with this one. So all of these angles are equal. And then they're trying to extract whether we have x equals z, y equals w, okay, all this stuff. So let's kind of parse out what else we know. So I said that from my length of vertical angles, y plus z equals, oh, actually, here's what we can do. We can make a big equal, no, you know what, let's not do that. All right, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. So we got x plus y equals, x plus y equals u plus w. And then we have x plus y equals u plus t. This tells me that t equals w. That doesn't help because that's not one of the options. We also have x plus y equals y plus z. This tells me that z and x are equal. Hey, that's one of them. So of 1, 2, and 3, this one's true. Y equals, so okay, what else we have? W plus u equals all of these, really. Let's see, we want to know if w equals y. So let me see this. W plus u equals y plus z, which means w plus u equals y plus z. Hold on, so we know 1 is true. Do I know that y equals w? Let me see. Y, x equals z. Okay, I get it. We need to get the same variable somehow on both sides. So u plus w equals u plus t. U plus w equals u plus t. We know that. Therefore, w equals t, but that's not one of the options. This is kind of a hard question. X plus y. No, we already did that one. So that x plus y equals y plus z. That's how we know x equals z. So we want y and w. So y plus, let's see, y plus x. Y plus x equals, I don't think we can prove the second one. Let's try z and t. Z and t. So z plus, well, here we go. No, we want z and t. So z plus y equals y plus x. No, equals z plus y equals w plus u. Or we can plug in an x here. Equals x plus y. But we already know x and z equal each other. That doesn't help. Equals oh, I'm kind of stuck here. Okay, I may have to come back to this one. I know that 1 is true, so it's either going to be, oh, that doesn't help. It's either going to be A, B, or D. Okay, let me come back to this problem because when I get stuck, actually, no, let's power through because I got all this drawing up here. There's something substitution-wise that I'm missing. Does Z definitely equal T? And what I need to figure out there, okay, so U plus T, there must be a faster way to do this. U plus T equals U plus W. So T equals W. And I also know that, so we know that T equals W, and we know that X equals Z. Okay, let's get more of these equivalencies. Z plus Y equals Y plus X. We already know that. What else with these other ones? We know X equals Z, X plus Y. Oh, U plus W, U plus T. W equals T. Oh, we just did that. Y plus Z equals X plus Y. Y plus Z equals W plus U. W plus U equals X plus Y. X equals Z. I already found that one. So X equals Z, T equals W. What else does W equal? I'm stumbling here. We're losing a lot of time. I'm gonna guess for now, and I'm gonna say 1 and 3. Okay, that one really gave me trouble. I'm gonna have to come back and think about it. Happens sometimes. Okay, next, in the quadratic equation above, A is a non-zero constant. The graph of the equation, the xy plane parabola with vertex CD, which of the following is equal to D? All right, so I'm gonna put this into A is a non-zero constant. Graph of the equation, the xy plane is a parabola with vertex CD, which of the following is equal to D? Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to distribute. I'm gonna try and get this into vertex form. So it's x squared plus 4x minus 2x plus 2x. I'm going to have to go a little faster now since I'm out of time, running low on time. And then we need to complete the square. A x squared plus 2x. Half of this squared is 1 minus 8. And then since I'm adding a 1a, because we got to think about that distribution, I have to subtract 1a. And then we basically are going to, and then I'm going to also distribute this and get that out of this parentheses. So we're going to be like a x squared plus 2x plus 1 minus 8a minus 1a, and this becomes minus 9a. So it's negative 9a. This will give us our c term, but we don't care. They're not asking about that, so it's negative 9a. Next, we have this. We have 24x squared, blah, 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 whereas a is a constant. What is the value of a? Okay, so we just need to solve for a. All right. Wow, this is going to be a long problem. 2 and 4x squared plus 25x minus, 25x minus 47 over ax minus 2. Let's get everything over ax minus 2. That's going to be my strategy, so we can just get rid of that entire bottom denominator. So I'm going to say negative 8x over ax minus 2. Ax minus 2 minus 3 times ax minus 2 over ax minus 2 minus 53 over ax minus 2, which is already over that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically, once everything is over the same denominator, all of this goes away, which is really nice. So now we have 24x squared plus 25x minus 47 equals negative 8x. Let's go ahead and distribute this here and here. So it becomes, negative 8a x squared plus 16x minus 3ax plus 6 minus 53. Let's combine like terms. 3ax. Okay. So then we've got 16, let's see, 16x. Let's combine these. This is easy. 6 minus 53 is negative 47, and that matches up here. See, we're just going to be able to solve this way. Actually, we're good to go. Look, these two terms match up. These are the only two terms that have x squared. Therefore, negative 8a has to equal 24. Therefore, if we divide by negative 8, a equals negative 3. Done. Okay, next What are the solutions to this? I'm assuming it's not factorable just because I'm seeing this. So I'm going to go straight to the quadratic. First, I'm going to divide everything by 3. X squared plus 4x plus 2 equals 0. Quadratic formula is negative b, negative 4, plus or minus square root of b squared, which is 16, minus 4ac, which is minus 8, over 2a, which is 2. This becomes negative 4 plus or minus square root of 8 over 2. Negative 4 plus or minus, I'm going to take a 2 out of that. I'm simplifying that. Stays square root 2 inside. And then divide everything by 2. We got negative 2 plus or minus square root 2. Negative 2 plus or minus square root 2. Okay, next. Okay, 15. One more hard problem, and then it resets. This is equation for Fahrenheit and Celsius. And based on the equation, which of the following must be true? Okay. If temperature A increases 1 degree Fahrenheit is equivalent to 5/9. So if it's 32 Celsius 0, 33, it's 5/9. Yeah, A is good, so 1 is good. A temperature increase of 1 degree Celsius is equivalent to a temperature increase of 1.8. Yeah, it has to be. It has to be, right? Because, let's double check here. So Celsius goes up by 1. Because I multiply both sides by 9/5, so yeah, a Celsius increase of 1 means this goes up by 9/5, which is 1.8, so 2 is good. Temperature 5/9 increase of Fahrenheit is equal to, no, this is the reverse, so 3 can't be right, so it's 1 and 2. Okay, next. What is one possible solution to the equation above? 0. 0 times negative 5, which is still 0, equals 0. Oh, x is greater than 0. Darn it. Okay, so x cubed times x squared minus 5. So that's a difference of squares. So x, no, it's not. Hold on. X squared minus 5 equals negative 4x. So I'm going to distribute, and we get x to the 5th minus 5x cubed equals negative 4x. Let's add 4x, so I get x to the 5th minus 5x cubed plus 4x equals 0. Factor out an x. And I get x to the 4th minus 5x squared plus 4 equals 0. Factor this. X squared, 4, 1, minus. Okay, one solution is 1. Okay. Because I could plug in 2, negative 2, 1, negative 1, but it's greater than 0, so I'm going to say 1. If I plug in 1, this whole thing goes to 0, and we're good. Next. What is the value of x? Okay, we got an equation. Let's do it. So 7/9 minus 4/9 is 3/9 x equals 1/4. I'm going to make it 3/12. Have a common denominator plus 5/12. This is 3/9 x equals 8/12. 1/3, I'll say 1x over 3 equals, divided by 4 is 2 over 3. Cross multiply, and we get 6 equals 3x. X equals 2. All right, two isosceles triangles are shown to the left. If 180 minus z equals 2y, 180 minus z equals 2y, y equals 75, what is the value of x? Equals 2, and y equals 75, so that's 150. I'm just plugging and chugging. I'm going to add z and subtract 150, make this faster. Z equals 30. So now I know that z equals 30. And I know that, let's see. This is an isosceles triangle, therefore these two must be equal. Therefore, these two must be 50. They must add up to 150 to add up to 180. Therefore, this is 75, 75. This is supplementary with 75. Therefore, x is 105. I would be writing this out more carefully, but I'm running really low on time. I have to finish, so hopefully that made sense. But ask me questions, I can go back. At a lunch stand, each hamburger has 50 more calories than an order of fries. So hamburger equals fries plus 50. If 2 hamburgers and 3 orders of French fries has a total of 1,700. How many? Okay, so system of equations. We're solving for hamburger. So I'm gonna plug in. I'm gonna isolate f actually. So f equals h minus 50 to save time. Plug this in here for f. 2h plus 3 times h minus 50 equals 1700. 2h plus 3h minus 150 equals 1700. 5h equals, add 150 is 1850. Divide by 5, so no calculator. If I'm dividing by 10, it'd be 185. Dividing by 5, we double it, so it's 370 calories. If I had time, I would check that this math was correct. Let's see if I can do 370 and then 3. Well, I don't have time. We have 2 minutes, so I think that's right. Next, angle ABC, measure of B is 90 degrees. BC is 16. AC is 20. Oh, shoot. And then DEF, I'm going to assume is a right triangle also. It's similar. So ABC, let's call it DEF, where EF corresponding versus AB. Particularly each side and each side of DEF is 1/3 this. What is the value of sine of F? So they're similar. So the sine values are the same. Sine of F is opposite over hypotenuse. So we need to figure out what this side is. So it's 400. It's this squared equals 256 plus x. Subtract 256 from both sides. Subtract 256 from both sides, and we get 144. It's square root of 12. So this side is 12. So sine of F is the same as sine of C, which is opposite 12 over 20, which reduces to 3 over 5. Okay. Oh, man. This was really rough in terms of time. So let's go back to that one problem that I couldn't solve. I got 20 seconds left. Maybe I can make a more educated guess. So I said I was really confident about 1, but that only eliminated C. Now the question is either 2 or 3. Or I just had a really hard time proving 2 being true. That's why I chose 1 and 3. I can't figure it out. Okay, let's see what I got. I got it right. Okay, I got it right. Let's review the answers. I'm gonna go to this before I take before I hit the questions, because I want to know how that was done or what I missed. And like I always say, these live streams, that's like kind of the fun part for me, is I'm seeing this stuff for the first time often. Actually, this one I think I've seen before, but I couldn't remember how to solve it. And you just do your best. So anyways, let's look at what they said for the answer. So it was 1 and 3. So since angles marked, you know what? I'm so bad. I can't. Okay, so I missed the most obvious thing, which is I was doing groups of vertical angles, right? And so I was like, y plus z equals this. I forgot to do the simplest thing, which is y and u are vertical angles. Z and w are vertical angles. So I don't know if you remember, but I was like looking for groups of 2 vertical angles, like y, z, and w and u and stuff like that. I forgot all these ones, which is way easier. T and x, u and y, w and z. So that right there gave me, does that not give me z and t? And then I think when I knew that, I figured out that x equals z, therefore t equals z, just from this alone. So that's what I missed. And I had a really hard time proving this, and that's obviously not true. So cool. Okay, let's go to the questions here. What's up, Madison? Okay, could you explain how you did number 9? Okay. Okay, so 9, 12, and 15. Let's go back over them. Yeah, I apologize. I had to go fast today because I was running so short. But it's all good. Let's go through this. So here we go, 9. We were trying. Okay, so this is the important part. They said, for what value of k will the system of equations have no solution? Now I'll parse it out a little bit more. When they have no solution, they have different y-intercepts and the same slope. So first, a probably easier way to write this is, let's get both of these into slope-intercept form. So the top one, I'm going to subtract kx from both sides. I get negative 3y equals negative kx plus 4. Divide both sides by negative 3. I get y equals k over 3x minus 4/3. Okay, that's the top one. The bottom one becomes, subtract 4x from both sides. I get negative 5y equals negative 4x plus 7. Then divide by negative 5. And I get y equals 4/5 x minus 7/5. Okay. I tried to take a shortcut when I solved it just to do it more quickly, but it probably made less sense. Bottom line is these two equations now have different y-intercepts, so we're good there. Now we just need to make sure that these slopes are equivalent. So the slope here is 4/5. So for what value of k will this also be 4/5? And we figure that out by cross multiplying. We get 5k equals 12 and divide by 5. And we get 12 over 5. The next one was number 12. Yeah, so Paul is asking this the first time. So usually I try to make all my live streams where I'm solving it for the first time in real time, which is why I can sometimes make mistakes. But I feel like it's more realistic for people watching to see how do you actually solve problems in real time and strategize. So for me, I have actually taken this test before, but it was a long time ago. So that's why, you know, it's still a good representation, and I don't remember all these problems. Okay, so next was, sorry, number 12 and then 15, and then we'll move on. Okay, number 12, hopefully I answered that because I already solved it. And then 15, oh no, that's 11, sorry, number 12. Okay, which of the following is equal to D? So this one was where I had to put it into vertex form. So the key was, first what I did was I distributed that, I basically FOILed, and I got x squared plus 2x minus 8 when you FOIL. And then now I have to put it into vertex form. So actually what I should have done to make it easier, first distribute the a, and we get ax squared plus 2a 2x minus 8a. Then this guy kind of goes away, and then I'm going to focus on just this part, where it not goes away, but it stays out here. Factor a back out again, plus 2x. Complete the square by taking half of this and squaring it, which is 1. And then minus 8a. And then again, since I'm adding a 1a, you have to distribute to figure that out. We have to subtract 1a to balance it out. These guys combine to negative 9a. And in vertex form, this factors to become x plus 1 squared minus 9a. And in vertex form, that means my vertex is at negative 1, negative 9a. So that's why I knew that's the D of the vertex, and this is my answer. Okay, 15. Honestly, like, you can figure this out by, like, so the way I figured out that 1 was legit was first I plugged in 32 for f in my mind. 32 for f, because 32 minus 32 is 0. So when f equals 32, c equals 0. Then I plugged in 33. So what happens when we increase by 1 Fahrenheit? And then that's really easy to calculate. 33 minus 32 is 1 times 5/9 equals 5/9. So 1 degree increase here is a 5/9 degree increase here. Then for this one, it said 1 degree Celsius is equivalent to a temperature of 1.8 Fahrenheit. So this one you can just isolate F, and it becomes 9/5 C plus 32, okay, equals F. And so you can experiment with C, like 0C equals 32F, 1C equals 32 plus 9/5, which is 33.8. So yes, 1 degree Celsius does increase by 1.8. And then you test the same one out here, and it just doesn't work. Okay. All right, that's it for this section. So guys, what's the best way to start for the SAT math? Honestly, doing this, watching practice problems, take practice tests, as many as you can. If you're taking it this weekend, that's probably the most important. But then these live streams or video explanations are what you do after you take the test to get more strategy. All right, so we finished this. Now let's move on to this guy. 38 questions, 55 minutes. Get our calculator ready. And let's go. Okay, the graph to the left shows Marilyn's distance from her campsite during a 3-hour hike. She stopped for 30 minutes during her hike to have lunch. Based on the graph, which of the following is close to the time she finished lunch and continued her hike? So she stopped for 30 minutes. That looks like this here, right? She's not moving anywhere. So it's like from 1:10. Oh. Which of the following is close to the time she finished her lunch? So she started here. She probably finished it here and then continue hiking. So maybe like 1:40 is the closest. Because 2 is here. No. So that's about 1:40. The table on the left shows distribution of age and gender for 25 people who entered a contest. The contest winner will be selected at random. What is the probability that the winner will be either a female under the age of 40 or male under the age of 40? So total is 25. Male under 40, female under 40 is 12 plus 8, which is 20 over 20 over 25, which is 4 out of 5. If we reduce it. Wait, what? Hold on. Oh, I messed it up. Well, either female under 40 or male over 40. So female under 40 is 8. Male over 40 is 2. So 10 over 25. My bad. The graph to the left shows the total number of music album sales in millions each year from 1997 through 2009. Based on the graph, which of the following best describes the general trend in music album sales from 1997 through 2009? So we're having trouble reloading this. Hold on. What's going on here? All right, let's try and refresh. Uh-oh. Continue. Okay, I don't know why this is not working. Okay, we'll try and come back. Hopefully this doesn't keep happening. Let's say... I have no idea. Let's just choose this one and go on. Okay, next. So I got to go back to 3. Next, the table above shows some values for linear function. Which of the following defines f? So it's basically, look, we have to plug these in and see if we get this right thing. If I plug 1 in, yeah, I get -2. If I plug 2 in, I'm supposed to get 1. I would get -1. That's A's out. Next, 2n minus 4. Here we get 2 minus 4 is -2, correct? Plug in 2. I get 0 here, so B's out. Here, 3n minus 5, I plug in 1, -2. Plug in 2, I get -1. So that's got to be D, but let's make sure. D is 4 to get -2. Plug in 2, I get 8 minus 1. Oh, I messed up. C is actually looks like it's good. D is out. I plug in 2, I get 6 minus 5 is 1. I plug in 3, I get 9 minus 5 is 4. Plug in 4, I get 12 minus 5 is 7. So it's C. At Lincoln High School, approximately 7% of enrolled juniors and 5% of enrolled seniors are inducted in the National Honor Society. If there were 462 juniors and 602 seniors, which of the following is closest to total juniors and seniors? Okay, so it said 7% of juniors, which is here, and 5% of these guys is here. We got to take these percentages and add them up. So I'm going to use my calculator for this. 0.07 times 562 equals, and then that's plus 0.05 of 62. It's actually 30, I'm pretty sure, but let's just do the calculation anyways. 0.05 times 602. Okay, so 30 plus, right? So it was like 30.1. So 69.44, 69. Which finding is the sum of the two polynomials shown above. Let's add them up. And I like how they stacked them, makes it easier. This is 8x squared. This is -7x. 2 plus -6 is -4. Boom. Minus 7x minus 4. What is the value of W? Let's cross multiply like we do with all these proportions. I threw the W on top, which you have to do. That means it goes on the numerator when it's kind of floating in the middle. 9W equals 20. Divide by 9, divide by 9, and we're here. 20 over 9. The average number of students per classroom can be modeled by this equation. Y equals 0.56x plus 27.2. Where x represents the number of years since 2000 and y represents the average number of students per classroom, which of the following best describes the meaning of the number 0.56. So this is my slope, this is my change. So for every year, something is changing by 0.56, meaning the number of students per classroom is increasing by 0.56, which is this. Next, Nate walks 25 meters in 13.7 seconds. If he walks at the same rate, which of the following is closest to the distance he walks in 4 minutes? So here's second, here's meters. Now we want 4 minutes, but we have to put it, we can't put 4, we got to put it in seconds. So 4 minutes is 4 times 60, which is 240 over x, and then we cross multiply. 13.7x equals, let's see, 480, 4,800 plus 1,200 is 6,000. But I'm going to double check my math because you never know. 25 times 240. 6,000. All right, then we divide by 13.7. 6,000 divided by 13.7. 437. So about 450. Okay, that's the closest one. Next is this one. What is the weight in newtons of an object on Mercury with a mass of 90 kilograms? Okay, so we have this formula. So here's the weight. So weight equals mass times and the acceleration due to gravity. So the weight has a mass of 90, so weight equals 90 times Mercury has, what is the acceleration thing on Mercury? It's 3.6. Wait, and G is the acceleration due to gravity on the planet, so 3.6. All right, so that becomes, it's probably 324, but let's do the multiplication. Yeah, I'm just making sure I set that up right. That's what it's all about for that one. It's 90 times 3.6. Yes. All right, next, an object on Earth has a weight of 150 newtons. So now we're plugging in for newtons for the weight. So 150 on Earth equals, we don't know the mass, but we know the constant for Earth is 9.8. Okay. On which planet would the same object have an approximate weight of 170 newtons? Okay, watch this. So we're going to solve for the grams. Divide by 9.8, 9.8. This is going to be about 15 because it's like dividing by 10, but let's get it more precisely. It's 15.3. So the weight is 15.3. So on which planet are we going to have a weight of 170 newtons? So 170 equals 15.3 times some constant, which we have to solve for. Divide by 15.3, divide by 15.3. And then 170 divided by second answer, 11.1. This is our gravity constant. So we need to look over here and see which one has a gravity constant of 11.1, and that's Saturn. Next. Function has 5 distinct zeros, which could represent the complete graph of f. Which one of these hits the x-axis 5 times? 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. The equation above gives the height in feet of a ball thrown straight up, an initial speed of v, blah, 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 which of the following gives v in terms of h, t, and k. So none of that matters. We're just isolating v, and you can see that in the answers. So let's isolate v. I'm gonna add 16t squared to both sides, and I'm going to subtract k, and then we have this equals vt. So I moved this one over and this one over, and this sign's flipped on each, and then we divide both sides by t. Here's your answer. H plus 16 squared, 16t squared, wait. Wait a minute. 16t squared plus h. Oh. Okay, I see what happened. So they separated all of this out. So they brought the h and the k together, which is here, and then they separated this out into 16t squared over t, and then reduced this to 16, so it's h minus k over t plus 16t minus k over t plus this one. Okay, so they rearranged that fraction. The cost using a telephone in a hotel meeting room is 20 cents per minute. Which of the following equations represent the total cost in dollars for h hours of phone use? Got it. So 0.2 times 60 for 1 hour times h, right? Instead of doing 0.2 times each minute, now if we want per hour, it's obviously there's 60 minutes in an hour, so 60 times 0.2, which is 12, times h, okay? And that's the total cost. So it's this one, 0.02 times 60 times h. Next, in order to determine if treatment X is successful in improving eyesight, a research study was conducted. From a large population of people with poor eyesight, 300 participants were selected at random. Half of the participants were randomly assigned to receive treatment X. Okay, so half got X. And the other half did not receive X. So 150 here, 150, nothing, I'll say. I don't know. The resulting data showed that participants who received treatment X had significantly improved eyesight as compared to those who did not receive treatment X. More eyesight, 300 people. Which of the following is an appropriate conclusion? Treatment X is likely to improve the eyesight of people who have poor eyesight. Okay, yeah, because they only chose from people with poor eyesight. That might be good, so I'll just select it. Eyesight better than all other? No, because we only tested it against people getting nothing. Improve the eyesight? No, not anyone who takes it. That's way too big of an assertion. No, we can't even say this because it's specifically related to people with poor eyesight. Next. Which of the following, these are the graphs on the left, which of the following values does f of x plus g of x equals 0? Meaning, where is f of x and g of x on the x-axis have like opposite solutions, where one is 2 and the other is -2. Okay. So here it's like -1, -1. Here it's 2 and -2. So those two sums will equal 0. And so x at this point is -2. Right? I'm just looking for this value of 2, this value of -2. They're opposites. They add together and give you 0, which is what it's saying here. And then we find the x value at that point. Okay, next. The quantity of a product supplied and the quantity of the product demanded in an economic market are functions of the price of the product. Got it. So it's function. Both of these are function of price, and this is demand. This is supply and demand, basically. The functions above are the estimated supply and demand for a certain product. The function, this, gives the quantity of the product supplied to the market when the price is $P, and this is the demand. Okay. How will the quantity of the product supplied to the market change, so supply curve change, if the price of the product increases by $10? So what does it say? It's supply, right? Price increases by $10. The supply will go up, because it'll be 1/2 times 10, which is 5. So it'll go up by 5. The quantity supplied will increase by 5 units. Price of the product. Yeah, that makes sense. Because the demand drops essentially as price goes up, supply increases. Next, at what price will the quantity of the product supplied to the market equal demand? All right, so we got to set these equal to each other. 1/2 P plus 40. Add P to both sides. We get 3/2 P equals, let's subtract 40, equals 180. And then multiply both sides by the reciprocal to get rid of this. And I get P equals 2/3 of 180, which is 120. Yeah. All right, next, 19. Graphene, which is used to manufacture integrated circuits, is so thin that a sheet weighing 1 ounce can cover 7 football fields. If a football field has an area of 1 1/3 acres, so 7 times 4/3, I guess, how many acres could 48 ounces cover? Boom, set up a proportion, right? So 1 ounce covers this many acres, and then 48 ounces covers that many. Now we cross multiply. First, let's figure this out. 7 times 4 is 28 over 3. 28 over 3, cross multiply, and get x equals 48 times 28 over 3. Cross simplify 1 and 3 to 16. So 16 times 28 is 280 plus 120 is 448. So approximately 450. But let's do this on the calculator. So 16 times 28, 448. All right, sweet. Next. All right, we're about at the halfway point. Michael swam 2,000 yards on each day of 18 days. The scatter plot to the left shows his swim time for and corresponding heart rate after each swim. The line of best fit shows the data as also shown for the swim that took 34 minutes. His actual heart rate was about how many beats per minute less than predicted by the line of best fit. So 34 minutes. Here's this stat. This is the actual point, which is 142, 44, 46, 48. So 148. Line of best fit predicts 150, so it's a difference of 2. Next. Of the following 4 types of saving account plans, which option yield the exponential growth of the money? Which option would yield exponential growth of the money? Okay, I think we're talking about compound interest here. So this is not 2% of the initial savings. This is not exponential growth because this is what's called simple interest. We're just taking, like, if we deposit $1,000, we get 2% every year of 1,000, not of what's total in the account. That's not exponential. Each successive year, 1.5% of the initial savings and 100 is added. No. This is more, potentially, well, maybe not, but this is like, it's still the same amount every year. So if you added like $100, it'd be $1.50 plus 100, so 101.5, 101.5. No. 1% of the current value is added to the value of the account. This is compound interest. We're taking the interest of the entire amount in the bank as it increases. This one's clearly wrong. Next, the sum of 3 numbers is 855. X plus Y plus Z is 855. One of the numbers X is 50% more than the sum of the other 2 numbers. Okay. What is the value of X? So this is going to be a little substitution. Oh, wait. Of the other 2 numbers, Z, Y, and Z. Excuse me. Divide both sides by 1.5. Now we can do a little substitution. X over 1.5. Plug it in for Y plus Z. So we got X plus X over 1.5 equals 855. Multiply everything by 1.5. 855 times 1.5. I'm just doing this to get rid of the fraction. 1282.5. 1282. Then these guys combine to become 2.5x equals 1282.5. And then divide both sides by 2.5. 513. Yeah, that sounds right, right? I feel like that's pretty good. That's pretty right on. 3, then the other one would be 342. And then 50% more than that is 342 is 171. Yeah, it works. Just checking it mentally. But I'm not going to go full on right now. Maybe I'll go back and do it, but I feel confident. Here we go. Let's copy this over. The angles shown to the left are acute in that sine of A equals cosine of B. That means, actually, that these two are supplementary. but we'll get back to that in a second. Like I'm probably going to draw a triangle just because we're dealing with you know, cosine and sine. I usually like to do that. But if this is true, usually sine of A equals cosine of B, it means like they're in the same triangle, right? And realistically, like, or at least similar triangles, because sine of A is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine of B is adjacent over hypotenuse. So if those two are equal, they're supplementary. So A plus B equals 180. And then we've got these two equations. What is the value of K? So that means 4K minus 22, which is A, plus 6K minus 13, which is B, equals 180. 10K minus 35 equals 180. Add 35. 10K equals 215. Divide by 10. K equals, we basically move the decimal spot 1 over. 21.5. Next, Mr. Cole has a beaker containing n milliliters of solution to distribute to the students in his chemistry class. Okay. If he gives 3 milliliters solution, he will have each student 3 milliliters. Okay. He will have 5 milliliters left over. Okay. So, wait a minute. Okay, so in order to give each student 4 milliliters, I have to represent this somehow in an expression. So he has n milliliters of solution. So if he divides n by 3, he will have a remainder of 5. Okay. Wait. You can't have a remainder of 5. No, that's not what it's saying. Okay, so it's basically saying 3 times however many students in the class equals n minus 5. That's what it is. Okay, so the amount of students in class times 3 plus a remainder of 5 equals n. That's my first equation. Okay, so x is my students. In order to give each student 4 milliliters, he will need an additional 21 milliliters. So we need n plus 21 in order to give 4 times x. How many students are in the class? System of equations. Boom. Now we got to set up. Let's solve. And let's get the 21 over here. So we got 4x minus 21 equals n. And then now let's add by, let's make everything negative on top and combine these guys. The n's cancel out. I have 0 equals negative 26. And then x, 3x, negative 3x plus 4x is x. Add 26 to both sides. There's 26 students in the class. Okay, next. Remember, we're waiting for 31. When we get to 31, the difficulty will reset. You can see they're starting to get harder now. Okay. The right circular cone, a right circular cylinder with internal measurements represented by the figure to the left of the following, which is closest to the volume of the grain silo in cubic feet. So 2 right circular cones. Oh, I see. This and this plus the cylinder. So we got to calculate all of this. Yikes. Okay, let's first calculate the volume of the cylinder. That's the easiest. So it's pi r squared times height. And the radius is 5 as it's here. So 5 squared is 25 times height is 10 is 250. So 250 pi. Okay. And then we need, these cones look to be the same. So the area of a cone is just 1/3 times pi r squared times height. In this case, the height is 5. And the radius is also 5. So this is 25 again. 5 times 25 is 125. So 125 over 3 times pi plus 250 pi. That's the volume. Oh, no, that's just one of these. And then we need to multiply this by 2. So it becomes 250 pi over 3, right? Because I just calculated 1 cone, we have both cones. Pi. Okay, so let's add this up. So 250 pi divided by 3 equals plus 250 pi. This one, 1047.2. Boom, done. Next, determined by points 2k pass through the origin. Which of the following could be the value of k? Well, k32. So let's figure out the slope, maybe. Wait, I'm not sure. Okay, well, let's try it this way. So my slope, if we subtract down, is k minus 32 over 2 minus k. And then we have y equals... So y equals k minus 32 over 2 minus k x. I don't think this is the best way to do it. Hold on. Let me reset here. No. I'm going to calculate slope using... Oh, I know what to do. We've got 0, 0 as a coordinate. So the slope we can calculate from both of these. So let's do it for both, okay? So 0, 0, and then k 32, 0, 0. And both these slopes should be the same. So we'll subtract down. So this is k minus 0, which is k, over 2 minus 0, which is 2, equals 32 minus 0, which is 32, over k minus 0, which is k. Cross multiply, we get k squared equals 64. Square root k equals 8. Next, a rectangle was altered by increasing its length by 10%. So if this is length, the length becomes 1.1. That's an increase of 10%. That's like multiplying 0.1 times L and then adding it to L, so it's 1.1, and decreasing its width by p%, which means the width is 1 minus p over 100, right? Because if it's like decreasing it by 20%, it's really 80%, so that's why I'm doing this. If these alterations decrease the area of the rectangle by 12%, what is the value of p? Okay. So LW times 0.88, okay, equals... Okay, so basically if the area of this equals the area of this times 88%, which is decrease the original value, then we solve for p and we'll be good. So 1.1 times 1 minus p over 100 times LW. Okay, divide by both, and those are gone. Then let's distribute, and we got 0.88 equals 1.1 minus 1.1 p over 100. We subtract 1.1 from both sides, and we get, hold on, 22, negative 0.22. You can use a calculator for this, but I'm pretty good there. And then since this is minus, this is, oh yeah, negative 1.1 p over 100. Multiply both sides by 100, and we get negative 22 equals negative 1.1 p. Divide both sides by negative 1.1. By negative 1.1. Negative 22 divided by 1.1 should be 2. Should be 20. And is 20. Boom. So that value, it decreased by 20%. So it was 80. 80% was how much was left. In planning maintenance for a city's infrastructure, a civil engineer estimates that starting from the present, the population of the city will decrease by 10%, so drop by 9, every year, every 20 years. Okay. I can already start to eliminate, by the way. Do you see what's happening here is that, look, if it's decreasing by 10%, that means the value that's got to be in here can't be 0.1, it's got to be 0.9. Because it's like, that first 20 years, we're decreasing by 10%, so we're going to have 90% of what is left. So A and B are out. Now here's the question. It's by every 20 years. And we're talking about t years from now. So it's saying only in 20 years is it going to drop by 10%. Here, if I plug in, this is actually makes no sense. If I plug in 1 for t, it's going to be like 20 years of 10% decreases. Here, this one makes sense, right? When t equals 20, meaning it'll be 20 over 20, which is 1, right? T is 20, so in 20 years, this will be 0.9 to the 20th power, 0.9 to the 1 power, and that'll be a 1 drop of 10%, getting us down to 90%. So this has got to be the answer. Okay, next. What? Oh, I think it's a partial graph here. Yeah, it's an incomplete table, they said. Okay. The incomplete table to the left summarizes the number of left-handed students and right-handed students by gender for 8th grade. There are 5 times as many right-handed female students. Right-handed female students as there are left-handed female students. Okay, right? This is X. This is 5 times as many. And there are 9 times as many right-handed male students as there are left-handed male students. Done. If there are 18 and 122 here, which of the following is close to the probability that a right-handed student selected at random is female? So right-handed is 122. And probability that it's female is 5x over 122. But what is x? We got to solve that. So we got a nice system of equations here. Look, this plus this equals 18. And this one is 5x plus 9y equals 122. Boom, simple as that. We want to solve for x, so let's eliminate y. So I'm going to multiply this entire top thing by -9. We got -9x minus 9y. 90 plus 72 is -162. And I didn't have to do this way. If I eliminated the x's, like accidentally, let's say, it'd just be one extra step to solve for x later. Okay, 5x plus -9x, -4x. These cancel out, equals -40. Divide by -4, divide by -4. X equals 10. Plug it in there. 5 times 10 is 50 over 122. They want it in decimal format, so 50 over 122 equals 0.41 if we round up. Wait. Let's just make, yeah. Almost on 31. This should be the last really tough one. The equations above, B and C are constants. If B is C minus 1/2, I just turn that straight away into equation. Which of the following is true? Ooh, okay, so this is confusing. Okay, so these are all, what does x equal? X equals y something. What does that tell me? That means they want to get x in terms of y. Well, right here we have x in terms of b. So let's start to put this together. So let's isolate x. I'm going to subtract 3x, so we get 2x. I'm going to add 7 to the other side. 2x equals b plus 7. Okay, that helps. And then let's plug in this for b. And I get c minus 1/2 plus 7 equals 2x. And then I know we can get y in terms of c and then substitute that. So I'm going to isolate c. I'm going to subtract 3y from both sides to get c equals 2y. Oops, 2y minus 7, right? I subtracted 3y from 5y. Take this and plug it in down here for c. Now I have 2y minus 7 minus 1/2 plus 7 equals 2x. These cancel out. Divide everything by 2 of what's remaining, and we get y. 1/2 divided by 2 is actually 1/4. So x equals y minus 1/4. Okay. Yay. 20 minutes left, so we're really good shape time-wise to tackle these last 8 problems. Tickets for a school talent show cost $2 per student and $3 per adult. If Chris spends at least $11, so total 11, but no more than 14. Okay, it's actually inequality. No more than 14. On X student tickets, so this is students. And one adult ticket, so this is $3 to X, let's say. And 11 less than or equal to 14. What is one possible value of X? Okay, well, I can subtract 3 from both sides. 2X is greater than or equal to 8, less than or equal to 11. So 5. 5 works, right? 5 is greater than 8 and less than 11. So we can say 5 students and 1 adult. 10 plus 3 is 13. Didn't even need to write all this out, actually. Could have done that mentally. Next, we have ages of the first 12 presidents. Right. The table to the left lists the ages of the 12 first presidents when they began their terms in office. According to the table, what was the mean age in years of these presidents at the beginning of their terms? Oh, we're just taking the mean. So we got to add these up. Probably going to use my calculator. Yeah, 57, 60. Okay, here. We're going to scroll this over and hopefully see the whole thing and then add them up. So let's do it like this. 57 plus 62 plus 58 plus 58 is 59 plus 58 plus 62 plus 55 plus 68 plus 51 plus 50 plus 65. Okay, this is a really important question to double check because if I could make one mistake, this is a free response, I could get the wrong answer. There's nothing to check it against and I'm in trouble. And so how many presidents we have this divided by 12? First, I'm going to check that these numbers are right. So I see 57, I see 62, I see 58, 58, 59, 58, 62, 55, 68, 51, 50, 65. All right, so that's cool. Now I divide that by 12. Round your answer to the nearest tenth. That rounds up to 58.6. Yikes. Next, if it's rewritten in that form, what is the value of B? Simply combine. Okay, first I'm going to get rid of those parentheses at the front because they're doing nothing. Next, I'm going to distribute the negative 2, right? That negative goes along with the 2. So this becomes a positive 4x and a positive 2. Combine like terms. And that goes to 0. But here's my B term, 9. Yep, good. 34, 5 questions left. In a circle with center O, A, O, B measures 5 pi over 4. Which is, hold on, let me see, 180 divided by 4 is 45, times 5 is 220. So it's about 220 degrees. Not that you necessarily need to know that, I'd just like to know. So this is totally inaccurate drawing, but that's okay. The area of the sector formed by the central angle is what fraction of the area of the circle? Well, it's 5 pi over 4 divided by 2 pi. Sometimes I write fraction over fraction like this. This one multiplies here, this one multiplies here, so it's 5 pi over 8 pi. These cancel out, so it's 5 over 8, 5/8. And 220 is 5/8, I believe. An online store receives customer satisfaction ratings between, just to explain why I did it over 2 pi. 2 pi is the equivalent of 360. So all the angles going around is 2 pi in radians. An online store receives customer satisfaction between 0 and 100. First 10 ratings, they received an average of 75. What is the least value the store can receive on the 11th? So that means they had 10 of these, so the total added 750. So what is the smallest we can receive on the 11th and still be able to have an average of at least 85? Oh, for the first 20 ratings. Okay. So 85, so 750 plus x plus y, which will be the other 9 over 20. Hold on, 750. What is the least value circumference C for the 11th rating and still have a value of at least 85 for the first 20 ratings? Okay, let's see if I can figure this out. Because, oh, no. I get it. Take this away. 85 for the first 20 is 85. Hold on. 85 times 20 is 1,700. So they need a 1,700 total. Okay. So 1,700. So 750 plus x 1,700. So we need this total on top to be 1,700. So that means we've got 1,050. 950 minus x. No, wait, so this is supposed to be 950. So hold on, wait. So let's do it like this. So 1,750. So the other 10 have to be 950. Okay, now I'm getting it. 950 is the other 10. So 950 is the other 10 out of 10 plus x equals 85. Yes. What is the least value? Did I do this right? 850, but that would be negative 100. No, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, hold on. So 750. How can we still get to 1,700 for 750? So we gave 0. And then we gave 900. Oh, I get it. So it's 950 for those other 9. We have to get to 950. So we could have, so 900 is the most we can get on those other 9. That has to be 50. Okay, I get it now. All right, so here's what was going on. This is where I messed up. So that 11th one should be the x in here, okay? And then the most we can get on those other remaining 9 would be 100, so 900. So it's like 750 plus x plus 900 over 20. And then this would be 1650 plus x over 20 equals 85. And then we get 1700 equals 1650 plus x. And then we subtract and we get x equals 50. Okay. That threw me for a loop for a second. 3 more problems. Y is less than this. Y is less than this. If a point with coordinates a, b lies in the solution set of the system, what is the maximum possible value of b? Okay. Let's think about this for a second. I'm just going to graph it just to give me an idea. Less than or equal to 5x. So it's a slope of 5. So we'd be like like this. And it's everything less than this. And then y is less than or equal to negative 15x plus 3,000. So it's some huge value up here. Let's do a different color. And then a super steep slope. Like coming something down like this. Okay. So this is just to give me an idea, and it's less than this to all here. So the solution set is going to be like in here in this overlap area. What is the maximum possible value of b? Meaning, what is the max for the y value? It is 0, right? Because no, wait, hold on. No, it's not. It's not. Okay. So can I set these guys equal to each other? Let me see if that works. 5x. Oh yeah, it's gonna be that top point. Yeah, so it's just where those two lines intersect. 5x equals negative 15x plus 3,000. And then add 15x, add 15x. You get 20x equals 3,000. 300 divided by 2 is 150. So where x equals 150, where y equals 5 times that, which is 750. And plug that in here, it should be the same thing. Negative 2,250, 750. I think that's correct. Because anyways, we're going to have, 5x is like this. That one's going to be something like this. And then this would be the max point, right? Because we're going below both of these. So the area, the overlap area is in here. So yeah, that's right. 9 minutes left. If shoppers enter a store at an average rate of R shoppers per minute, and each stays in the store for an average of T minutes, R shoppers per minute, and each stays in the store for an average of T minutes. So this is total minutes here of the shoppers. Wait, and each stays in the store for an average of T minutes. R per minute. Okay. Kind of getting there. I'm not sure I understand this. The average number of shoppers in the store, N, at any one time. Okay. Oh, they give us this equation. Perfect. Is N times T. The relationship is shown as Little's Law. The owner of good deal store estimates that during business hours, an average of 3 shoppers per minute, which is R, enter the store, and that each of them stays an average of 15 minutes, which is here. Estimate that 45 shoppers are in the store at any time. Cool. Yes. Little's Law can be applied to any part of the store. In particular, store owner determines that during business hours, approximately 84 shoppers per hour make a purchase, and each of these shoppers spends an average of 5 minutes. So in this case, N equals, this is 84 per hour, but this is again going to be per minute, right? So in this case, it would be 84 divided by 60, that's per minute, and each one spends an average of 5 minutes. Did it say checkout line or is 5 minutes in the store? In the store. Oh, checkout line. Got it. Yeah, so that's cool. And then times 5, which is T. Okay, let's cross simplify. This becomes 12. 84 divided by 12 equals 7. So 7. So this is just plug and chug with the formula. So it sounded really complicated, but not too bad. Okay. 7 minutes left. The owner of the Good Deal store opens a new store across town. New store, the owner estimates that during business hours. Let's get this formula down so we have it. N equals RT. Shopper per minute is this one. And this is minutes spent in the store. So that for a new store, the owner estimates that during business hours, average of 90 shoppers per hour. So that's 90 over 60, so that's R. And they each stay an average of 12 minutes. The average number of shoppers in the new, so the average number of shoppers in the new store at any time is what % less than the average number of shoppers in the original store. So the original store was 45, right? I think it was 45, right? And then this one is 90 over 60, which is 9 over 6, which is 3 over 2 times 12, which is 6, which times 3 is 18. So what % is what % less? Okay, so 45. So it's basically down to 18, so we're subtracting, sorry, 7, 27. Right, so 27, just double check, 3, 15, 8, 1, yeah. Okay, so it's 27. So that means the percentage is 27 out of 45. So 27 out of 45 equals 0.6, which is 60% less. I think that's good. Now let's go backwards, because we have to go back to the first one. Hold on. I think this will send me back here. Okay, good. And then there's one that it didn't load, so I have to look at that. Here we go, this one. Find best describes general trend in music album sales from 1997 to 2009. Here's 1997, here's 2009, right? 12 years later. I think I actually got it right. Increase until 2000. So this is 98, 99, 2000, and then generally decreased. Yeah, I mean, I picked it randomly because it just sounded right. Like, you know, just there were some dynamic changes. So then, yeah, decreases. So it's actually correct. Okay, let's just finish and see how I did. And we can answer questions then. All right, I got one incorrect. So before we do anything, let me go to the incorrect one. Correct. Correct. Wait, I get this one wrong. Nope, correct. There we go. Oh, this one. I was so confident on this one. Hold on, let's do it again real quickly. It told, oh man, I was really confident on this one. That's crazy. Okay, so this one said sine of A equals cosine of B. That means there's, oh, they're not supplementary, they're complementary. That's where I made a mistake. I said A plus B equals 180. A plus B equals 90. Oh, man. So 4K minus 22 plus 6K minus 13 equals 90. 10K equals negative, oh, sorry, 10K minus 35 equals 90. 10K equals 125 divided by 10K equals 12.5. And what did I choose? 21.5. Oh, yeah. That is terrible. Okay, but that happens sometimes. So I had a few minutes to double check that. I don't know if I would have found that error truthfully, because that was just, I was so confident about this one, and then the answer was there. It was very, you know, that just threw me for a loop. Okay, let's look at the questions that we have before we wrap up today. Okay, let's see here. Okay, how do we know the person who created math is right? This is a very good question. What will you do when you run out of Khan Academy practice tests to complete? Well, today, I mean, this week, I'm just doing the first 5. So eventually this year, I'm going to start going through the ones provided by Kaplan and Princeton Review. And all right, it looks like we don't have any other questions. So we are good for today. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you like the video, please click that like button if you want to see more. And if you want to keep up to date on all these Scalar Learning live streams and other SAT and math content, click that subscribe button. And again, if you're looking for additional resources, make sure to check out my video course in the description link below, which you'll get at a pretty big discount if you purchase it through that link. 75% off. It retails at $200, so it'll only be $50. Thank you guys so much for joining. And I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.